All right, gentlemen. We're Monday, February 28th, 2011. We're going to work on lesson 2.2. I want you guys to turn to the example on page 90. Nope, sorry, I lied. Page 88. Okay. If you guys look at that example, it says aerial solution. We're going to skip the first part because it was technically the last lesson. We're going to focus on the factoring today. So if you look down to the third line of aerial solution, she ends up with 3n squared plus 6n plus 6. What we're working on is greatest common factors today. So what that means is I need to find a number that is divisible by every term in this. There's many ways to do this. I'm going to show you two ways. The first one uses a lot of mental math. The second one uses prime factors, okay? So we're going to look at this here. I need to find a number and or variables that are divisible by each term in here. So my numbers are 3 and 6. What I'm looking for is the greatest common factor between 3 and 6. So I can write the factors of 3 and 6. 3 is 1 and 3. 6 is 1 and 6. 2 and 3. So if I have to compare greatest common factors, the first common factor between the two is, first common factor is 1 between both of them. The second common factor is 3. There's only 2. The greatest one is 3. So what that means is I'm going to divide each number in here by the number 3. So let's rewrite our next line. 3n squared plus 6n plus 6. There's many ways you can represent factoring a number. It's up to you guys. One way you can do it is drawing a division sign underneath every term. That way we know we're going to divide each one. So because the greatest common factor is 3, I'll be dividing this term by 3, this term by 3, and this term by 3. What that means is that number 3 is going to come to the outside of a set of brackets. So we have a set of brackets. We've divided each term by the number 3. So we're going to put the 3 on the outside of the brackets. And then I'm going to divide each term by 3. So what is left inside the brackets? Well, we have 3n squared divided by 3 is just going to be 1n squared. I don't need to write the 1 in. So I'm going to have n squared. The next term is 6n divided by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2, so I'm going to be left with 2n. And finally, I have 6 divided by 3, which is just 2. So that's all there is to that one. That would be the greatest common factor of this term would be 3, and we factored it. We took 3 out of each term, and we're left with 3 bracket n squared plus 2n plus 2. Okay, so we use the first one using mental math. Sometimes you guys are going to get terms that are rather large. It can be hard to find the common factor quickly. Another way you could find factoring, so we'll call this example 1a. I'm going to use the exact same numbers, 3n squared plus 6n plus 6. A way you can do this is to break every term into prime factors. So you guys would have dealt with prime factors in maybe like grade 5 or 6. Prime factors is that tree-looking thing. So we'll go for the very last term actually to start, 6. We're going to find the prime factors of 6. So we take the number 6, and I just constantly break down factors of 6. So factors of 6, not including 1 and 6, are 2, that's a 3, 2 and 3. From there, I look at the numbers 2 and 3. Can they be broken down into two numbers that aren't itself in 1? Because 3 can only be broken down into 3 and 1, that means it's a prime factor. A prime factor means the only factors of that number are itself in 1. So prime factor is 3, and 2 is a prime factor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the term 6 in the next line with the numbers 3 and 2. Those are the prime factors of 6. Okay? Let's go on to the next one, 6n. I need to find the factors of 6n. Well, we already looked above. We know 6 is 3 and 2. But in order to get that n is also a factor of 6n. So my prime factors of 6n are 3, 2, and n. So instead of writing 6n in the next line, I'm going to write 3 times 2 times n. And let's go to our last term here. Let's make a little room. So we've done that. Our next term, 3n squared. Well, factors of 3. The only factors of 3 are 3 and 1, so it's already a prime number. So we're going to keep the number 3, but n squared can be broken into numbers. N squared, so we'll bring down our 3. N squared can be broken into n times n. That would be the most basic form of n squared. So if I had n cubed, I just break it into 3 n's. If I had n to the 10th, I'd have 10 n's to write in. Okay? We just want to break it down to a variable with the exponent 1. So I'll now replace 3n squared with 3, n, and n. So what I've done now is I've taken all of these terms and broken them into their prime factors. To find the greatest common factor now, all I got to do is match numbers. It's like grade 1. So we look into every single spot. Is there a 3 in each of the terms? Is there a factor of 3? Yes. So I know the number 3 is going to come out of all of these. Okay? So I can write a 3 on the outside. Is there an n in every single term? No. So I can't take an n out. Is there a 2 in every single term? No. So I can't take a 2 out. So the only number I could take out of every single term was the number 3. Once that's done, we just set up our final answer. So I've taken the number 3 out. Well, because I can't factor n times n anymore, I'm just going to recombine the two. So n times n is going to be n squared. I've taken the 3 out. So imagine the number I've circled, it's gone. It's to the outside. On our next term, we had 3, 2, and n. Well, we took the 3 away. 2 times n is going to be 2n. And we've taken the 3 out of our last term, so the only number left is 2. So let's write this in black just so we can see the similarity from 2 above. If you take a look, doesn't matter which way we get this, which way we carry out the factoring, we still ended up with the exact same number. So whether you can do the mental math and you know how to figure out which numbers are divided by which the greatest common factor is by looking at it, or you want to break everything into prime numbers, you're still going to end up with the greatest common factor. When you get large numbers, doing it the prime factoring way is long. There's a lot of work to it, but it's usually more accurate. People tend to do a little better with that than doing the mental math in their head. So you guys choose whichever method you want to use. I'm going to get you guys to practice a little now, okay? There you go. Okay, so try number 6, A, and D. It's on page 91, okay? I want you guys to try that one right now. I'll put this whole page up. So page 91, 6A and 6D. I want you guys to try it right now. I'm going to give you a couple minutes. Morning.